Hello, guys. Hello. I'm doing this live from my bedroom because there's all sorts of stuff going on in the house right now. So I'm doing it from my bed. This is big. This is really big. And I'm not doing this video to scare you whatsoever because I've told you if you believe in God and you truly believe in God, you know that God wins. So I'm just going to reveal some incredible numbers here. I've been working myself to the bone today doing codes and syncing them all up to Revelation. And it's quite startling. And I have been saying for over 2 years that everything is connected by a code, everything. And for me, it's all about basically getting the Antichrist here. That's what it's all about. All these rituals that have been going on, all these events, all synced by numbers. It's about the Antichrist, the beast reigning for 42 months. But again, God will win. God will win. It's already written in the book. So this is insane. If you're on my website and you've not checked what I've been posting today, go sign in. Your mind's going to be blown. See my Simpsons decode, my Aaron Judge decode, all the other stuff that I've posted today. It's absolutely wild. As I have 8 in the live, 1 like for your 9 times 9, for your 81, which all connects to Aaron Judge. Judge connects to Judgment Day, which connects to Jesus. Your 99 for Prince Philip, who died at age 99 on the 99th day of the year. Your 99 that connects to Liverpool, who've won the Premier League 1 time, where they got 99 points. 9 times 11 for your 911 gets you 99. This is going to blow your mind. I promise you. I absolutely promise you. The reason why my work's now getting so highly regarded by so many people eventually is because what I'm saying is playing out. And it is revelation. So check this out. God bless you too, Abid. Thank you so much. I gave you a huge shout out in a recent video and on Twitter. The message you sent me was powerful and it meant so much to me. The donation was incredible as well, especially with what's going on with Expedia, but it was more the impact that I've had on you and how you're trying to use my work to inspire those around you. That brought me joy. And when I read it to my mum and saw her smile, she was like, okay, you must be doing something right. So that was big for me, that not just the money, everything about it. So thank you for that. I appreciate you. 9 viewers right now. Wow. I'm seeing 13, 2 likes for your 13-2 for Super Bowl 56, which was all connected to Revelation 13-2, and also Queen Elizabeth and both the popes, the Black Pope and Pope Francis. That's why I told you the Rams would win. Hello, Happy Face Man. Much love. Hope you're blessed, bro. I feel blessed. Every day is a blessing, isn't it? Every day is a blessing. I'm here. I'm with my family. I'm healthy. My brain's operating at a high level. I'm around loved ones. So I am blessed. I believe in God, which is the biggest blessing you can have. And Jesus, obviously, God and Jesus for me is the same entity. I do believe in the Holy Trinity. I really do. That God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit is one. So this code here is going to blow your socks off. All right. So here we go. There we go. Aaron Judge gets 60-second home run of the season in a huge Babe Ruth and end times ritual. All right. The reason Aaron Judge has been killing it this year is that number 99 that he has on his jersey. And his last name, Judge, which all connects to Judgment Day, which I've told you connects to Jesus, which you'll understand later in the video. So anyone after this video, if they don't believe that baseball or professional sports in general are not ritualistic, energy harvesting, coded events, are under a spell. All right. If you watch this live and you still dismiss this knowledge that I'm about to present to you, you're under a spell. And I really hope one day you break that spell. I was under one. I was under a spell. Not anymore. So the main aspect of this live today is to show you that we're living through end times or they're approaching. It's super biblical. It's all connected to the book of Revelation. Everyone who's asking me, how do you get so good at what you do? Study the book of Revelation and you'll see the prophecy that's being fulfilled. All the other stuff, like everyone getting all psyched up about the Gematria calculator and this, that, and the other. Study the book of Revelation, and that Gematria calculator is not as important as you think it is. So, number 99 broke an AL record, okay, of home runs in one season, getting to 62. He did this in a 3-2 loss to Texas Rangers. Texas is all connected to the Bush family, who are connected to 9/11. We know George Bush Sr. gave a speech on 9/11 talking about a new world order, and he said there will be a new world order. And then his son, George Bush Jr., was the president of the US during 9/11. So this whole ritual with number 99 and 9 times 11 is 99. Of course, he breaks his record in Texas against Texas Rangers. Rangers, by the way, are really synced up with Queen Elizabeth. That's why Rangers got to the Europa League final last year. Really synced up with her. So this number 99, Aaron Judge, he breaks this record in a 3-2 loss to Texas Rangers. Remember the Euro 2020 final? Penalty shootout between Italy and England finished 3-2. There's 32 rays on the Society of Jesus' logo. The Yankees lost this game and they stayed on 99 wins for the season. So number 99 breaks this record, but they lose and stay on 99 season wins because they're now 99-62. And that's hilarious because he got his 62nd home run of the season. 99-62, eh? The guy wears number 99. He broke this record in a game where the Yankees lost and stayed on 99 wins. 9 times 11, like 9/11's 99. 9/11 occurred in New York. He obviously plays for the New York Yankees. And then they got the 62nd loss. After he breaks this record and gets his 62nd home run. 62 is that huge number with the Queen. Huge, because she was coronated on June the 2nd, 6-2, in 1953, the 62nd triangular number. When you type in Queen, you get 62. You've got the place called Queens, which is in New York. And then New York, obviously York in England, was originally the capital of England. Yorkminster. Now it's Westminster. They took it down south to London. I think that's to do with the energy. Something to do with the energy there. So that's insane. So it says here, I found this from an article. Aaron Judge, and you're going to see later on why that surname is so incredibly important to what I'm talking about. Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge hit his 62nd home run of the season, and the Yankees got their 62nd season loss and ended the game 99-62 for the season. Before a crowd at Globe Life Field, again, this whole nonsense that we live in a globe is a joke. Globe Life Field, buzzing in anticipation, the New York Yankees slugger, all right, drove a 1-1 slider from Texas Rangers right-hander, Jesus Tinoco. Jesus was the name of the pitcher, all right? He breaks this record. Who's pitching to him? The guy whose first name is Jesus. All right, so he hit this home run into the left field seats to lead off the top of the first inning in the second game of the day. All right, so it was a double header. And he's now having bested Babe Ruth's total of 60, all right, for the 1927 Yankees. 6 days before he broke this 62 record, 6 days. And that 1927, that's a year after Elizabeth became the Queen, the year after Queen Elizabeth's father died. All right. Judge finally surpassed the record, didn't he? That Maurice's record of 61 in the penultimate game of the regular season. All right. Exactly 61 years after his predecessor set the mark for the 1961 Yankees. So Aaron Judge got his 61st run recently, and he broke a record which was of 61 years, which was achieved in 61. 61 is the 18th prime. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18, which connects to the book of Revelation. So like I said, Judge, he hits this record-breaking home run from a pitcher whose first name was Jesus. Do you think that is an accident? Do you think there's Freemasons sitting down in a room and deciding this? It's biblical, it's supernatural, it's undeniable that Revelation's playing out. It really is. I'm going to read some of your comments and I'll get back to the code, so it doesn't seem like I'm ignoring you. Greetings from Arizona. Come, Lord Jesus. Jesus is coming. Don't you worry about that. The book doesn't say when, but it's coming. So is the Antichrist. All right? Just think of the world you're living in right now. Just think really carefully about the world that you're living in. All right? You can focus on all the positives, that you've got a roof over your head, you've got food and this, that, and the other. Or you can acknowledge that in the book of Revelation, it talks about wars and rumors of wars. That's what we've got going on. All right? A decline in love for Jesus. Basically, the majority of people I know are atheists. They don't believe in anything other than the media. All right? A decline in people's attitudes. People have all these negative attitudes towards life now. All right? Worshipping the devil, promoting the devil's agenda like Pride Month, which has demon in the middle of it. That's why it's celebrated in the 6th month. 6 is the number of the beast. Lawlessness, people getting away with murder these days. Earthquakes everywhere, the natural disasters. All right? More and more of us, thankfully, are getting a growing understanding of biblical prophecy and biblical scriptures, which again is discussed in the book of Revelation. That's why somebody like me, who was a normal lad, a regular everyday lad that was pretty smart but no genius or anything, who didn't believe in Jesus, is now coming across this biblical prophecy. When I found the book of Revelation, it was the most organic thing you will ever see. I didn't order it. Nobody recommended it. I moved to an apartment, which was number 3. Organic. All right. A few days after, I go walk in the middle of the night and I find that where the washroom is, there's an area of books. All right, where people who live there will just leave their books and you can take a book, read it, bring it back. You can drop a book off, whatever. I was in there for about 5 or 6 seconds, maybe a little bit longer. And the first book I picked up was the book of Revelation. There was thousands of books. All right, thousands of books. So I am at a point at this stage in my life, guys, and I'll keep doing it just because of my community, and there's a certain amount of people who still want to gamble, which I don't do. I'm not giving my energy to Satan, because gambling is satanic. It is. Even if you win, it's energy harvesting. I'll keep predicting these outcomes for you, but in reality, we're living through Revelation. Why I code this stuff now is to get me closer to Jesus and to reveal what's happening, rather than put a bit of money in people's pockets. And I hope people on my website see that now, that they acknowledge the codes that I'm doing, and not only just love them when they hit, but the fact that I'm doing this type of code now, which is showing you that we are living through end times. Is that not a little bit more bigger than winning $50, when soon money is not going to mean anything? And that's very biblical as well, where we're going to have the one world currency, all right, where you will have the mark of the beast, where it will be a chip, which I said 2 years ago, and you won't be able to buy and sell without the mark. And that's when you're going to realize, do you love the world more than Jesus? Simple. If you do love the world more, you will get that. And it's coming. And the people who are there to tell me what you on about, go watch my work for 2 years and the things that I've called. All right? Go watch it and then come back and tell me I'm talking nonsense now. Go on. I dare you. All right? So let me keep going with this code, because it gets even more insane. So I've told you, you've got Aaron Judge and how important that name is. Okay? And how he hit this record-breaking home run from a pitcher whose first name was Jesus. So Jesus states how he has been given the authority to judge by the Father. Okay? He says, moreover, the Father judges no one, but has entrusted all judgment to the Son, that all may honor the Son just as they honor the Father, because the Father and the Son is one. Whoever does not honor the Son does not honor the Father who sent him. All right, that's all connected to Jesus, who is the judge. Aaron Judge breaks this record from a pitch from Jesus. I've given you all my videos about Gabriel Jesus for Arsenal, the number 9. How he was born on April the 3rd, which is the death date of Jesus. How he's from Brazil, where Christ the Redeemer statue is. How he got coronavirus, supposedly, Jesus, on Christmas Day, the date they tell us that Jesus was born, which is a lie, because Jesus was born 9/11. That's why those Twin Towers came down on 9/11. Think it's just a random date? That means nothing? You think the US's emergency dialing code is 9/11 just for the banter? Then you're wrong. Then you're wrong. Simple as that. The last judgment, guys, when we're talking about Judgment Day, the last judgment, final judgment, day of reckoning, day of judgment, judgment day, doomsday, whatever you want to call it, the day of the Lord, is part of the Abrahamic religions, guys. Judgment Day is a real thing. We will be judged. All right? And not by a judge in a court of law, which is man-made. We're going to be judged by Jesus. And a lot of you will dismiss that because it scares you. Not my problem. So this was heavily connected to Babe Ruth. All right? He was born on a day that can be written 6/2. The 6th of February. And we know how big the 62 and the 26 is with Queen Elizabeth. So remember that Aaron Judge went ahead of Babe Ruth's record of 60 home runs in one AL season. He did that 6 days before he broke the all-time AL record. All the sixes, the 66 there. The book of Revelation is the 66th book in the Bible. It's why England won the World Cup in 66 and the captain was number 6, Bobby Moore. And who gave him that trophy? Queen Elizabeth, who's connected to end times, and she's just died. Her life ended. Like I said, she would die at 96, right before the World Cup, 2 years before it happened. Because I've been chosen to reveal this. It is revelation. A lot's been revealed. And for whatever reason, I have been chosen and other people to reveal this. And you can dismiss it as much as you want. But at this rate, again, what I've done in 2 years and what I've predicted and revealed before it's even happened, I don't know how you can dismiss it other than being absolutely under the control of Satan. And I'm not saying you are a blatant Satanist and you worship witchcraft, okay? I'm saying if you do not believe in Christ, you are antichrist. Simple as that. And you're going to have a choice soon. All of us will. Now check this out. It's absolutely startling. Aaron Judge, who broke this AL home run record, he did it, guys. He did it 6,660 weeks and 6 days after Babe Ruth was born. Go on my website. If you haven't signed up to my website, I keep telling you all, now's the time. Now's the time to see what I'm doing and what I'm revealing. Because soon I won't have a platform. And I'm telling you. And if anyone's going to come out and tell me this again, they won't do that. Why would they get rid of the internet? Which, by the way, gets you 666. Why would they get rid of the internet? There's too much money there. It's nothing, zero, zilch to do with money. This is the end times. They control the monetary system. Nothing to do with money. All right? Zero. So when we do get judged and when everything is truly playing out where it's so undeniable, you have to accept it, you're going to wish you came across this knowledge because you can prepare for it and you can build your spirit. Not just build your bank account where money can come and go. Your spirit doesn't. It's so hard to break somebody's spirit when it's powerful. People can have millions of dollars in the bank account. They can lose it in a day. No one's taking my spirit. All right. Expedia can take my 1,600. Satanists can take my Patreon account. They ain't taking my spirit, are they? The more they've pushed me, the more they've prodded me, the stronger I've got. All right. And that's what you guys need to do at this point. You can worry about your electricity bills, this, that, and the other. That's all to do with the end times as well. And dark winter, which is going to approach. Mark my words, when the lights go out on everybody, let's see how they behave in the dark. Again, when you're comfortable with yourself and you're spiritually strong, you don't need electricity. You don't need to be watching your little TVs and playing your little video games. You don't need any of that. You need your spirit, and that is it. It's the reason why I basically gave up practically everything for this, because I knew that what's going on now is far bigger than me and what brings me personal joy. Okay? Now check out this for more sixes. It's going to blow your socks off. Donald Trump, who witnessed 9/11, who was born in New York, he had a grandmother, a great-grandmother called Elizabeth Christ Trump. And I am not joking when I tell you her name was Elizabeth Christ, like Jesus Christ Trump. Guess when she died? All right? She died 66. She died June the 6th, 1966. All right? Christ. And then you've got all the 666s with Judge in connection to Babe Ruth, in connection to the Church of Satan. Well, I'll give you another Church of Satan one here. Judge broke this record, all right, from a pitcher whose first name was Jesus. Do you know when he was born? Jesus Tinoco. Do you want to know when he was born? April the 30th, 1995. Exactly 29 years after the Church of Satan was founded, which was founded in 66 in San Francisco. San Francisco, St. Francis, Papa Francisco, Pope Francis, connected to Revelation, the false prophet. That's who Pope Francis is, which I've been saying for 2 years. If you're not on my website, check it out and check out my Simpsons decode, and you'll see the first ever episode of The Simpsons was aired on Pope Francis's 53rd birthday, December the 17th, 1989. 53rd birthday. Is that why Italy won the Euros for the first time in 53 years? And the opening game of the Euros was Italy versus Turkey, and the opening goal was after 53 minutes. And the three players that missed the penalties in the 3-2 shootout for England in the final, you add up the jersey numbers 11, 17, 25, you get 53. All right, Queen Elizabeth was coronated in 53. Come on. It's huge. It's playing out. The end times are playing out. Italy won that Euros in connection with the Vatican. And that's where I think the Antichrist is going to rise from, the Vatican. So again, Jesus Tinoco gave up that home run to Judge, who broke the record. He was born on the 29-year anniversary of the Church of Satan being founded. Masonic equals 29. 29 is the 10th prime. Satan equals 10. Satan gets you 55, the 10th Fibonacci and triangular number. The 10's so big because it's the matrix, which is made up of ones and zeros. Remember, in the Matrix, Neo's passport runs out 9/11/2001, and that was released in 1999. Flip those nines, you get 666. 1999 is also the year where Man United, the Red Devils, won the treble. Who did they beat in the Champions League final? Bayern Munich. Where did Donald Trump's great-grandmother die? Bavaria. Where was the Illuminati founded? Bavaria. That's why Bayern Munich are called the Bavarians. So, yeah. It's also the year David Beckham married that bloke, Posh Spice, 1999. And do you think it's a coincidence, guys, that the Yankees, who are dominating this year, get beat by the Texas Rangers, who are awful, all right? Because it's nothing to do with who's a good player. It's nothing to do with the managers. I've told you all of this for 2 years. It is the numbers, and it's the fact that Revelation is playing out. That's why the average gambler doesn't have a clue and practically never wins, because they pick the team that should win. That's not how it works. It's the code that dictates who wins. That is why the Yankees, who had 99 wins, got beat by a team who came into that game, by the way, on 66 wins, because now they're on 67. 67, the 19th prime. Queen gets you 19. That's why she was vaccinated for the first time on 1/9, January the 9th, for COVID-19. The 19-year moon cycles. That's why coronavirus was declared a global pandemic 19 years after 2001. So it was declared in 2020. My goodness. So the Yankees lost. They stayed on 42 season wins away. How long does the beast reign for, guys? How long does the beast reign for? 42 months. The Yankees stayed on 42 road wins. England won the World Cup in 66. They won the final 4-2. The most recent World Cup final, France, the home of the Jesuits, okay, beat Croatia 4-2. Who was the star player of that tournament? Luka Modric. What's his jersey number, guys? It's 10. It's 10. Messi wins the Copa America, number 10. Finally gets that trophy with them. All connected to the death of number 10, Maradona. Watch my videos. I could do a book about it. I'm saying all this now with 42 in the live. I have 42 people watching me, and I'm revealing basically we're living through revelation. You know what? Maybe I've told you this before. Slap some lipstick on me, put me in a dress, have me speak like a prick, all right? And I'll have, I don't know, 10 million watching me, promoting some product that's bad for you. Maybe I'll do that, guys, eh? So I'm not just speaking to 42 people. So all those 42s, well, the current Yankees Stadium was opened on 4-2. Of course, it was 2009 for you 29 again. Like how that picture, Jesus Tinoco, was born on the 29-year anniversary of the Church of Satan being founded. And by the way, the stadium's nickname, Yankee Stadium, is called the house that Ruth built in regards to Babe Ruth, which was connected to your boy Judge and all the 66666s that I'm going on about. The Yankees lose 3-2 in this game where Aaron Judge breaks this record. 131 is connected to 32. It's the 32nd prime. So let's read out Revelation 13:1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. I've told you 29's the 10th prime. 10 horns, 10 crowns. What do you think the whole thing is with coronavirus is? What does corona mean? It means crown. Italy were crowned the Euro 2020 champions. Leicester City, the Foxes, crowned Premier League champions in 2016, which is the 63rd try. That Jesus Tinoco wears number 63. It's 27, which is 9 plus 9 plus 9, or 3 times 3 times 3. Number 63, eh? 6 plus 3 is 9. Queen Victoria reigned for 63 years. Why do you think in EastEnders, which is so connected to Queen Elizabeth, where the pub's called the Queen Vic, Queen Victoria? So this is showing us, guys, that Revelation is playing out. And I ain't gonna sit around here and cry about it and sulk and worry about it, because I'm not worried about it whatsoever. It's gonna play out the way it's been written to play out. I'll focus on me, all right? Each passing day in regards to, I'll try and spread amazing information. I'll try and inspire people. I'll try and make people laugh. I'll teach them. I'll go about doing my own business. I'm not going to sit around waiting for it to happen. Probably already living through it at this point. I've told you, from coronavirus being declared a global pandemic, 3/11/2020, exactly 42 months after that is 9/11/2023. Check the calculator. I figured that out. Look out for 9/11/2023. Put it in your calculator. Your 42 as well gets you your 6 for your 4 plus 2. Why do you think Hitler was born on 420? In numerology, that's 6. 10 days before the Church of Satan was founded. 430, Hitler born 420. Do you know the first ever World Cup final? Do you know who it was? It was Uruguay and Argentina both have suns in their flag. The sun is Jesus. Do you know what score that finished? The first ever World Cup. Do you know what score it finished? Uruguay beat Argentina 4-2. 4-2. The first ever World Cup final finished 4-2. The most recent one, 4-2. In 1966, when the Church of Satan was founded, it finished 4-2. Because it's not about the players. Do you know why Jeff Hurst got an hat-trick, guys? When he didn't really do anything in the World Cup prior to that final. Do you know why he got an hat-trick? Because he was wearing number 10. Do you know why England's all-time leading goal scorer is Wayne Rooney? Number 10. How many goals? 53. Just like the first ever Simpsons episode was aired on Pope Francis's 53rd birthday, on the nose, 12/17, which is Saturnalia. Saturn has 7 rings. That's why Brady, oh, you Brady bum boys, is not winning the Super Bowl because he's staying on 7 rings, because he's Mr. Saturn, and Saturn's connected to Satan. Why do you think Pope Francis was born 12/17, the 199th prime? Why do you think Brady was drafted the 199th pick? All right, in the 6th round, and then becomes the GOAT. Why do you think Brady is 7-3 in Super Bowls? And as I'm saying this, The Simpsons have aired 730 episodes. Why did Prince Philip die after being married to Queen Elizabeth for 73 years? Why is Pi 3/14 the 73rd day of the year, which is Steph Curry's birthday? Why? Because it's all coded, it's supernatural, it's biblical. People can't comprehend it because it's above them. It's supernatural. You're trying to comprehend this like it's a normal person behind it. That's why you're never going to get it. When you realize that it's something bigger than us mortal humans who, for whatever reason, believe that we're above everything, that humanity is number one. Are you kidding me? Who do you think created humanity? A Big Bang. When you start realizing that this is biblical, that biblical prophecy is being fulfilled, you will see what's truly going on. And you're not going to be just sat on your ass decoding who's going to score for PSG tonight. Can you let me know who's winning Champions League? You'll realize it's way bigger than that. Why do you think the last 3 Champions League finals have finished 1-0? 10. The 2020 Champions League final was Bayern Munich against Paris Saint-Germain. It was basically the Illuminati against the Jesuits. Bayern Munich won 1-0. That final was played on Kobe Bryant's 42nd birthday for another 42. The guy who played 42 minutes in his last ever NBA game against the Utah Jazz. When you combine their jersey numbers, it got 181, the 42nd prime. He won his first ever NBA title, 4-2. The year he died, the Lakers won the NBA. They did it on National Father Day. LeBron and the Lakers beat the Miami Heat 4-2. The last 3 NBA finals since Kobe Bryant's death have finished 4-2. Lakers beat the Heat 4-2. Milwaukee Bucks beat the Suns 4-2. The Warriors just beat Boston 4-2. The most recent NHL finals, where I told you Colorado Avalanche would win 4-2, happened. All connected to Kobe and the Pope, who are connected to Revelation. It's why Kobe Bryant got his highest scoring game of 81 points, which is 9 times 9 in his 666 game. He had a 666 workout plan, and he died at 497 months and 3 days old, the 666 prime. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. He made his NBA debut at age 18, just like LeBron James. Just like Ronaldo went to the Red Devils at age 18, and 18 years later, re-signed for the Red Devils at age 36. 18 plus 18 is 36. 1 plus 8 is 9. 3 plus 6 is 9. He made his second debut for Man United on 9/11, like I said he would, weeks, if not months before. I told you Messi would go to PSG the year before he went. I told you Ten Hag would go to the Red Devils a year before at 40-1. The list goes on. I told you Tuchel would get fired. And when did he get fired? Right after number 99 for Zagreb got the winning goal in a 1-0 win against him. Those Champions League finals, Bayern beat PSG 1-0. Chelsea coached by Tuchel, beat Guardiola's Man City 1-0. And then Real Madrid, who have the crown in their logo, the kings of Europe, beat Liverpool 1-0. How did Liverpool last year get to 3 finals and not score 1 goal when they had Salah and Mane and Firmino, and what a team. They can score from anywhere. How did they get to 3 finals and not score 1 goal? People don't question it because they're under a spell. League Cup final 0-0 against Chelsea. FA Cup final 0-0 against Chelsea. 2 German coaches, Klopp and Tuchel. Champions League final, lose 1-0. They can't get a goal in 3 finals, yet they still won 2 of the trophies. They won 2 out of 4, by the way. Queen Elizabeth died 89. 89 is the 24th prime. The Hillsborough disaster was in 89. They won the FA Cup 33 years after the Hillsborough disaster. Massive Masonic number. That's why I told you Liverpool would win the FA Cup before the season began. Nah, they won't. They're struggling FA Cup, Adam. Oh, okay. All right. You don't think that's because it's the code? You don't think it's the code why Man United lost to Man City 6-3 and the last time they played them was on 6-3? And then my mate, congratulations, Buchan. His wife just gave birth. She weighed 6'3". 6 pounds, 3 ounces, 6'3". I was like, wow. And now we have this guy, picture for Texas Rangers, number 63. It's just, it's absolute insanity. It's absolute insanity. Did you see how Texas Rangers stayed on 94 losses and coronavirus pandemic equals 94 and Prince Philip died on a date that can be written 9-4, the 9th of April? So this is where it's tough. Like, if the Yankees are playing tonight, they've got Texas Rangers. This is where it's tough. Yankees win, they can get the 100th win of the season, which is 10 times 10. You've got your 100, which connects massively to Captain Tom Moore, who walked 100 laps around his garden. What an absolute joke. And they could stay on 62 losses, which all connects to Babe Ruth and the Queen. But they can get the 63rd loss. Queen Victoria was the Queen for 63 years. 2016 is the 63rd try. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. They can stay on those 42 away wins. They can get the 39th loss. New York's 39. Masonry's 39. It's really tough. It's really tough. Coding these games is not easy at all. Rangers could get the 68th win. 1968 was 33 years before 9/11/2001. There's so much going on. Did you see how Rangers got the 33rd home win as well? And New York gets you 33 and Corona 33. Coronavirus declared a global pandemic on 11/3 and 11 times 3 is 33. It's just a joke. Jesus is the only way of salvation. I agree with that. People telling me it's so obvious, but the reality is, go speak to 99% of the people that you know and tell them this stuff, and what they're going to say to you. They're just going to dismiss it all. That's the reality of it. Thankfully, my book's helped. People have sat down and read it who didn't believe in this stuff, and they've actually converted. But in general, you're going to tell people this stuff. You go up to a random person and say that Aaron Judge, Babe Ruth, Queen Elizabeth, Pope Francis, and Revelation are all synced up, and it was all to do with a baseball game. What are they going to say to you? Good vid, thank you, John. Satan is Lucifer's greatest general. Lucifer and Satan, for me, again, it's opinion. Lucifer was directly below God. He was the number 1 angel in heaven. He got cast out of heaven like a lightning bolt, sent here. This is his realm. The Bible tells us that. I think that Lucifer became Satan when he came here and when he was cast out. I don't think they're separate entities. I believe that Lucifer was an angel of God. Remember, he got cast out of heaven with 33.3% of the angels. And then, where do you think they are now? They're here. They're living amongst us. Somebody like Aaron Judge is probably one of them. Call them angels, call them demons, call them fallen angels, whatever you want to call them. They're living amongst us. Don't pay the bills. Yep, if you look into that, you don't have to pay the bills. All right, you actually have a choice with everything within this realm. You don't have to pay the bills, and there's nothing that they can do to you unless you go to court. And when you go to court, that's where they'll have you. You can refuse to go to court as well. Whatever letters they send you in the post, you can refuse. You don't even have to open them. You have to learn that. I've talked about this enough times. Hey 6079, much love to you and your incredible work. Tonight I'm playing football with my brothers. I'm meeting a friend again. At this point, like I'm almost ready to go back home. I've met so many people. Like it's been incredible. I met Greza last night. It's on my website, but more importantly, he's been a friend of mine for about 20 years. It's just incredible when you can meet these people you haven't seen for years and years and years, and it's like you saw him yesterday. It was absolutely beautiful. Went for a kebab. What else have we got in these comments? Not that you didn't already know that it was end times, but admitting my comments have helped to make you realize even more. Yep. What time is it in England now? 3:49. Well, it would have been 3:30, John, when you looked. The end times isn't happening, mate. People said the same thing in 2012. Study the calendar and see why they said 2012 and figure out the 10-year difference. And you'll see why they said 2012. If you don't, again, back in 2012, all the stuff that's happening now wasn't happening back then. It wasn't built up. All right, pretty much 2010, 2011 was just regular years. Yes, 2008, you had the global economic crash. But what we're having now with wars and civil rights movements and basically Queen Elizabeth dying and Philip dying and the last ever World Cup that you're ever going to be watching. I told you that ages ago. Mark my words. You won't be watching another World Cup in your life after this one. You've got famine everywhere. You've got the transgender agenda, which comes back to Sodom and Gomorrah. Most people have never heard of that. You've got all sorts going on. You've got the stuff with abortion. All this stuff wasn't going on right before 2012, was it? Wasn't. It's happening now. It's happening right now. The whole thing about people saying it for thousands of years, have they? Have they been saying it for 1,000 years, Metal Face Doom? How do you know that? All this stuff, people going back thousands of years ago, historically, you don't know anything about that. I talk about now. That's why I'm different. I'm talking about now. If you read the book of Revelation, you will see everything that's happening now is written within that book. I don't give a shit what people said thousands of years ago, and you don't know yourself. You have no idea what happened 1,000 years ago if we've even been around that amount of time. Read the book, it's playing out. That's what I can say. The way I do my work and why it's so undeniable is that I don't go off things from 1,000 years ago. I back it up with stuff that I can prove, not just little things that I've read about what happened thousands and thousands of years ago. And 6 million people died in the Holocaust. Did they? Did they? There's no way of doing that, but I'll give you date durations to probably prove that it's bullshit. That's why I'm different to just going off what you read in a history book, which is his story. His is an anagram of IHS, and IHS is the Society of Jesus. I just did a video about Paris Hilton, who was literally named after Paris, where the Society of Jesus were founded. That's why they won the last World Cup. No, they did it because they just have Mbappe and they have Pogba and they have a great team. That's why they won it. And Griezmann. All right, that's why they won it, mate. That's why they won it. Did you ever decode the Bible? Yes. I haven't done a video about it though. I talk more about the book of Revelation, which I think is the most important book within it. And it's obviously it's the final book of the New Testament. It's by far the most dramatic. For many people, it scares them. The language is frightening. For me, I've told you, I don't care how many times you've been to church or how many verses you can recite. I'm a true believer in God and Jesus, and I believe they're the same entity. I've said this, and it's playing out. The visions, the prophecy, the politics, all of that. It's playing out. It really is. It's super fascinating, this book. It's so different to pretty much anything else within the Bible. All right? You're not going on about moral sermons or ethical ideas. It's being real. Okay? It's deep. It's hard to truly understand it unless you're spiritually connected with Jesus, in my opinion. So much talk about war in the book of Revelation. And whether you believe that there's war going on now in the Ukraine and Russia, and if there's going to be war in China, okay, and all that type of stuff, that's up to you to believe. There's a spiritual war and it's happening now. That's the war that's going on. Not the one that's supposedly going on in Europe. Because I've told you, if Russia wanted to destroy the Ukraine and it was legit, they could have done it in 24 hours. So, Book of Revelation, you got these bright red beasts, 7 heads, you got the dragons, these monsters, cosmic eruptions. All right, we're going to see all these volcanic eruptions, we're going to see all these earthquakes going on. It's playing out. You got the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, you have Vinicius getting that winning goal for Real Madrid. You've got Mason Mount, all right, Sermon on the Mount, all the stuff with him. Yes, we can focus on the Mason aspect of it, or you can look at the Mount aspect of it. Or your MM for your 33, which is the age Jesus died. And again, people may dismiss that. I believe he went at 33, and that these Satanists have infiltrated that beautiful number. That's what I believe. It's my truth. All right. So again, there's lots of stuff about civil wars in it. That's what they tried to do with George Floyd, who never died. I called that on day one. I've done videos about it if you're new to my work. But again, people have short-term memory. They focus more on just like right now, or they're obsessing over who's going to win World Cup, who's going to win that. Why don't you look back at everything I've done and see how it's all connected? And you won't keep asking me, why do you think this? Why do you think that? Watch my stuff. As it's the final book. Why do you think it's the final book? Because it's the end times that it's about. That's why it's the final book. And you can tell me Freemasons wrote all these books. I don't know. Has someone like Zach Hubbard got in your head to convince you that Freemasons have written all these biblical books and they're fulfilling the prophecy? So they can just take our money and control us? You think it's that? You really think that is what it's all about, man, doing all of this? Come on. Wow. People saying Jesus isn't real, again, because people within this realm, they don't believe in anything that they can't see with the naked eye. I've told you the most powerful thing that you possess are the things you cannot see. How many times do I have to tell you that? This is no quote that I've read. Your spirit, your soul, your consciousness, love are all things you can't see with the naked eye. You can feel them. But I ain't gonna believe in Jesus till I've seen him. I don't believe in Satan till I've seen. That's where you're spiritually dead. All right. So you've got to see things to believe them. That's why you believe in the media, even though it's absolute bullshit every day. And I prove it every day. You believe it because you can see images that show to you that it's real. They can show you an image of gunfire in Russia and you'll believe it to be real because you can see it. And I've told you that's how the brain operates. Your spirit's far more important than your brain. Your brain's going to stay here when you die. Might not be functioning, but it's going to stay here. Your spirit won't. That's what you got to get in your head. And I ain't pushing Jesus on anyone. Not my issue. If you don't believe in Jesus, not my problem at all. And you can dismiss him. I did for 33 years. Yes, 33 years. Call me a Mason because you're so gullible and naive. Call me a Mason because I had my awakening at age 33. At this point, I want you to believe in Jesus. I want you to see through deception. I want you to grow spiritually. But it ain't my problem if you don't. That is on each and every person because God gave you free will. Yes, this is Satan's realm. Yes, he will push you to the limit. Yes, he will try and torture you at times. Yes, he will make your life really hard. But you still have free will in regards to how you respond to him. Just like Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and Satan tried to tempt him each and every day. Jesus didn't give in. All right? And when you learn this knowledge, you'll see how big the number 40 is. It's why Tom Brady came out of retirement 40 days after he retired. Way more. I don't need to get into it, but way more with the 40s. Just had Leicester winning 4-0, keeping Forest on 40 wins against them. I could go on all day with pretty much any number. The 40's big, and in numerology it's 4, which connects to the 4 horsemen. 4 horsemen of the apocalypse is huge with what's going on. It's why Elizabeth, some of the last photos when she was alive, was seen next to horses. All right? The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, the figures in the Christian religion, first appear in Revelation. There's 4 of them. And you got to learn what each horse represents. You got the white one, the red one, the black one, and the pale horse. But the pale horse is not white like people think. The pale horse is green. That's why, again, Elizabeth was so often seen in green right before she died. That's why Justin Bieber got Ramsey syndrome, Rams. The Ram guys, why the Rams won the NFL. He's wearing a green hat. That recent death of the kid who was wearing green Converse shoes. So this is John's revelation. The first horseman rides on the white horse. He carries a bow and he's given a crown. What do you think the crown is? Think it's got nothing to do with coronavirus? Crown, corona, do you think there's no connection there? It's not just about the queen. All right? He rides forward as a figure of conquest, perhaps invoking pestilence, Christ, or the Antichrist. The second carries a sword and rides a red horse and is the creator of civil war, conflict, and strife. Civil war, conflict, and strife. You don't think that's happening now? The civil unrest, the divide, the hate that we have for our fellow man that we did during this, when it was, did you get the you know what? Or the whole thing, the divide that we're having with Black Lives Matter, with the transgender agenda, the divide, so many things, creating more and more labels, which creates more divide. That's the second horse. The third is the food merchant. It's riding upon a black horse. This symbolizes famine. The food shortages, everybody, that are going to get even worse next year. That's the third horse. Revelation's playing out. I keep telling you. The third horse is about famine. You've got all the famine that they talk about in Africa. I know they've been doing that a long time with things like children in need, where that money doesn't go to any African. It goes to the Satanists who are working for Satan, not just the Freemasons, because not every Freemason's a Satanist. I'm talking about the high-ranked Satanists who are Satan's puppets, who are doing his work. That's where that money's going. So that's the third horse. He carries the scales. And in regards to famine, one of the reasons why there's this economic crash, which is going to get insane next year, and you're not going to be able to comprehend it. That's why I'm saying don't obsess over your money now. It won't really mean anything by 9/11/2023. It'll mean next to nothing. All right. Why do you think they're going to increase the prices on everything, especially food? Why is everything going up with food in particular? Make it harder for you to buy it, make it harder for you to eat, which connects to the third horse, which is the famine. If you don't know what famine is, it's basically starvation. Okay? And is everything I'm saying here just nonsense? You can say it's nonsense. Go for it. Go for it. And this may worry people, but this is what we're going to see next year. And I am not wishing it upon anybody, but just watch next year. You're going to be in for the shock of your life. When I speak with this level of passion, I'm very rarely ever wrong. Anyone who knows me and knows the work I've done knows when I speak like this, it's not because I'm trying to agitate you, it's because of the passion within me and the spirit within me. The fourth horse, guys, the pale horse, which is green, okay, it rides death. It's accompanied by Hades. All right, this fourth horse, which is the final one. That's why all the fours, how Elizabeth had 4 children. Her jubilee lasted 4 days. She was born in the 4th month of the year. Her husband Philip died in the 4th month of the year. There's 4 countries in the United Kingdom. The dialing code's +44. Can go on all day with the 4s. Read my Queen book. If you haven't, read my Queen book whilst you still can. If you're going to worry about paying $10, then again, you're stuck in Satan's trap. What, you're going to buy a pizza with it instead? So all these horses, obviously the worst one is the 4th one, which is death. Before that, you basically got the conquest, where the Antichrist is returning. And then you've got the war, the conflict, and the strife. Then you've got the famine. And then finally you have death. If it's an equation, it makes sense, doesn't it? And they were given authority over a quarter of the earth. A quarter of the earth is 25%. 25. How old was Elizabeth when she became the queen? 25. Why is Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar so connected to the book of Revelation? Why? Because they were born on 2/5, February the 5th, 25. 25% is a quarter. And I've told you the 4 horsemen, they were given authority over a quarter of the earth. That means that in the foreseeable future, in my opinion, hand on my heart, whatever the population is now, I don't know what it is. They lie to us. They tell us it's 7.9 billion, which is a joke, the 22nd prime. They make that up. How do they count the people who are giving birth, like not in a hospital? They don't know exactly how many people are living here. They're lying. They push numbers so they can push overpopulation and push the whole thing that they want to bring in with the environment and Agenda 30. But in reality, I think very shortly, maybe even next year, a quarter of the people living on this earth, on this realm, will die. Okay? A quarter. Biblically, 4 horsemen were given authority over a quarter of the earth, that's 25%, to kill with sword, famine, and plague, and by means of the beasts of the earth. Plague, coronavirus. And again, the 4 horsemen is connected to the last judgment day, which is all about what's going on with Aaron Judge. If you want to just say it's because he's such a good player, say it. Say it. Nothing to do with how good he is. At all. So I prove my point day after day after day. And at this point, I'm not even that bothered ego-wise about proving my point, because I'm pretty confident as to what's going to happen. That's why I'm not in love with the world. It's why I'm not too obsessed with anything. And it's why I basically gave up pretty much everything. Because whilst this all plays out, I don't want any distractions from me getting closer to Jesus. Simple as that. And if you say that's mean, you can't say your ex-wife was a distraction or your job or your family. Yes, I can. Doesn't mean I don't love them all. So again, this 4th pale horse was the personification of death. All right. The number 4 is connected to death in China. Where did the virus come from? The Chinese virus. Where did it come from? All right. The number 4 is connected to death. Van Dijk wears number 4. He's so connected to Revelation when you break down his numbers, who plays for Liverpool. It's just absolutely insane. So let me read this. The 4th pale horse was the personification of death, with Hades following him, jaws open and receiving the victim slain by death. Death's commission was to kill upon the Flumen earth with all of the 4 judgments of God. Another 4, which I told you is the sword, famine, pestilence, and wild beasts. I got so many 4s. It's just insanity how many 4s that I have. The deadly pale and livid appearance displays a hue symptomatic of approaching empire dissolution. Remember the British Empire? Never going to question how the British Empire or how Britain basically controlled the world when it's so tiny. I reckon there's definitely something with beasts here in England, something powerful about this nation or this location because it's tiny, yet it dominates and has dominated. But again, it's about to go down, just like the US, which I said 2 years ago. If they're going to create a new world and bring in the Antichrist, they have to destroy the old world. What do you destroy first? The most powerful countries. The US, since I said that, is going to shit. England is going to shit. It's just not enough people want to say it out loud, but I think deep down they know. They just don't want to say it out loud. Or if they do know, they want to blame the Freemasons. Again, that's because of people like Zach Hubbard, who's absolutely controlled, who doesn't even believe in Jesus. Well, he's in for the shock of his life soon. Mark my words. And see what they did with that Gematrinator? Charging people now, and it's 444 for your 444. It's all connected to the four horsemen. These people, deep down, they know what's going on, and I think they work for Satan, in my opinion. 444 if you want to be a member for the Gematrinator. Why? I'd love to know why. It's just crazy. It's crazy. So again, a lot of you will say, well, they said that this would happen and it didn't happen. It's going to be the same thing. Okay. All right. Do you not think they did that by design? To give you this false sense of security? It's always a plan to everything. Satan is the grand deceiver, the biggest deceiver in the world. Incredibly articulate, intelligent, deceiving, cunning, charming. All right? You not think he's going to set you up as a fool? That's what he's done to pretty much everybody. If you like conspiracy and don't want to turn schizophrenic, listen to Bill Burr and Ricky Gervais. You listen to Ricky Gervais. I could kick you out of my live stream for saying that. Ricky Gervais, the little female, the Satan worshipper, these tiny little hands who always host the Oscars or the Golden Globes, whatever he does. Just a regular lad, is he? Is Ricky Gervais just a regular lad with a bit of banter who made it big? No, he's a Satanist and he's a witch. I've decoded him as well, or her. So yeah, guys, why don't you go watch Ricky Gervais? Go listen to him instead of me. Go listen to Russell Brand while you're at it as well. And you know what? Have a little listen of Ike. Listen to all of them. All right? Because they don't work for Satan, do they? Somebody sending me a video the other day of Russell Brand on Alan Carr Chatty Show, who's a female as well. They both are. About the Illuminati. And Russell Brand's like, I've never heard of the Illuminati. What are you on about? You've never heard of the Illuminati? All right, you can deny being in it, but don't act like you've never heard it. Who are they? Who are they? Oh, if there is an Illuminati, I'll be pissed because I've not been invited. The whole audience laughs who are under spells, just mocking you. So yeah, go listen to Ricky Gervais, guys. Go listen to him. The guy who got to the top of entertainment. Go listen to him. Who got him there? Lucifer. Lucifer got him there. That's why he always worships him and always talks like that. Watch. Is he funny? Yeah, because he's been given that gift from Lucifer. That's what they do. That's why Tom Hanks said when he's performing, it's not him performing. He said, it's not me when I'm performing. Tom Hanks said that. The first celebrity to get coronavirus and then moved to Greece, where Prince Philip was born, who said he'd come back as a deadly virus when he dies, and then he dies during coronavirus. That's all just to be ignored. So yeah, definitely, guys, my biggest advice today, ignore everything I've just said, the incredible syncs I've made. Go listen to Ricky Gervais. All right, go listen to that guy because he's so insightful, intelligent, and funny, and he actually cares about you. Because I actually saw a commercial with Ricky Gervais where he was actually trying to get people to give money to the dogs, the poor dogs. Yeah, Sure, that money went towards the dogs, the RSPCA, Ricky. Went in your satanic pockets, didn't it? You little female. So anyway, keep raving on about Ricky Gervais if you want. Go watch The Office. What about the US Office that had 201 episodes? Interesting, eh? Hey Bernie Mac, much love to you. So every single person in the world sold their soul. You can't sell your soul. Satan can't buy your soul. He doesn't own any souls. That's Jesus. That's God. All right. He can basically not take your soul, but he can control you. He can give you whatever you want in this realm. Fame, fortune. You see it with all these celebrities, especially these rappers who are preaching everything Satan wants them to preach. And then he can take you out whenever he wants, in my opinion. He don't necessarily own your soul. He doesn't buy your soul from you. But you make a pact with him, and then I think he takes your free will from you. He basically controls you. He controls you, and he'll give you your cheap thrills, which is a song by Sia, who's another Satanist. Watch her music videos and what she had that little girl do. Satan did those music videos. Satan writes the lyrics. These demons write lyrics. All right. And that's why all these top stars, I've told you, like your Beyonce and whoever it may be, they go on stage and they become somebody else. That's why Beyonce becomes Sasha Fierce. That's why nearly all these celebrities don't go by their actual names. They have stage names because that person they become is not them. It's a demon. Someone like Eminem. How can a little white guy from Detroit arguably be the greatest rapper of all time? Because he got possessed by a demon. Get that in your head. How does little 5'6" Messi dominate every time he plays? Never gets pushed off the ball. Can't touch him. Even now, at 35, because he's possessed by a demon. It's why they tell you these stars are out of this world. Like Haaland, who's another one possessed by a demon, who's a female. But you can't comprehend it because you're thinking about just the biological element of it, not the supernatural element of it, aren't you? How's Mbappe so fast if it's a female? Because he's possessed by a demon. And Satan can give you whatever you want. Lucifer, the Baphomet, determine the outcomes of whether it's a sports game, who becomes a prime minister, who's number one in the chart. Not talent. That's why people like Jedward, who were Satan worshippers, looking at their images, were able to get in the charts when they can't sing, dance, have no charisma, no banter, and they're irritating, and they're both genetic females. But I'm sure that they were willing to give up their free will to become famous. Why do you want to be famous? I used to. I used to really want to be famous. I wanted people chanting my name when I was playing football. Why? Again, when you become at one with yourself and you realize that ego is one of the 7 deadly sins, you don't need it as much. You don't need that recognition from everyone. It's nice to get it, but I don't crave it. I don't need it. I would not give up my free will for fame and fortune, which eventually bites them in the ass and they regret it. How many of them say it? I wish I wasn't famous. I wish I didn't have this. I wish I didn't have that. I just wish I was normal. Yeah. Most people regret signing that contract, which has the word con in it. And by the way, I was speaking to my mate Greza, who I absolutely love to bits. I was telling you about, I went for a kebab with him yesterday. We were talking about Danny Welbeck and Rashford and how they grew up on the same estate and how Welbeck's agents are his brothers and how Welbeck and Rashford have had pretty much similar careers. They're working for Satan. They're not even good, Rashford and Welbeck, and I've called that. Basically, grew up on the same estate, both come through at United really young, score on their debuts and all of that, both play for England. All right? It's satanic. It's demonic. And if you say, but they have talent though, again, where are they getting it from? Is part of it organic and natural? Yeah. There will be a lot of people in many industries who have a ton of talent But to get to that next level, they have to do you know what and these rituals, and then they get even more talent. It's why someone like Whitney Houston could sing the way she sang, because she was possessed. And remember, Lucifer was the lord of the dance, the lord of music, if you read it, but most people won't know that. That's why the TV show Lucifer is so masterful on the piano. So who do you think owns the music industry? The Freemasons? It's the Jesuits? Who own it? Or is it Lucifer? Why do you think the Beatles, the most popular band of all time, always did that? Why did they have Aleister Crowley on the top of their album cover, who was an occultist, black magician, believed in ritual sacrifice, orgies? It was at the top of their album, their most iconic album. Sergeant Pepper. Why was he there? How many people know Crowley? Go speak to everyone. Go knock on the door of everyone on your street. Say, hey, have you ever heard of Aleister Crowley? No one will know who he was. That's what they want. People like him, they don't want people discussing him. They want you talking about the Kardashians. They want you talking about One Direction, Beyonce, Jay-Z. What Jay-Z? The guy whose most popular album of all time was released on 9/11/2001, and it was called Blueprint. And Blueprint means plan, pre-planned. And it came out on 9/11/2001, the year of the Twin Towers coming down. New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. Who sings that? Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys, how fun is that name when she plays the piano? What a joke. And they actually claim it's a real name. Alicia Keys. All right, who was hosting the Grammys when Kobe Bryant died at the Staples Center, where Kobe spent 20 years? Alicia Keys, who sung New York with Jay-Z, who's married to Beyonce, the Queen Bee, which connects to Queen Elizabeth. It's all synced. Simple as that. And again, I should have millions of people listening to me. Yes, I'm just laying in a bed, pretty uncomfortable. My head's hurting a little bit. All right. I don't present my work in a way that's so beautiful and incredible. All right. I don't need to. What comes out of my mouth is enough. All right. I'm one of the very few people on YouTube who are actually organic and speaking from the spirit and not a script. All right. Or doing it for fame and fortune and ego. I'm doing it for the right reasons. And I'm not doing it to be rewarded either. If rewards come from what I'm doing, great. But it's not why I do what I do. Amani Anani, pipe down. Hips don't lie, but the Adonis belt can't lie. Hips don't lie, neither does the Adonis belt. This can lie. The Adam's apple can lie when you realize the surgery that can be done to remove it or to give somebody one. That's not the best way of determining somebody's sex. Hips, for sure. The spine. Told you women have curves in the spine because they're designed by God to give birth. So, but now they tell you men can give birth. They can't. But you'll convince yourself that they can because you've seen it on a TV show. You'll believe it now, that it's possible. With modern day science, which again in the book of Revelation, it discusses that people will believe more in science than in the creator. Science is man-made, isn't it? How many times do they tell you to believe the science, to believe in the experts that are always wrong and inconsistent, yet people continue to believe in them, don't they? Right, I'm getting rid of Black. See you later, mate. 'Cause I know how much you love this channel and you're gone. See you later, because that's a man, your nanny. Bye bye. Funny how Leicester won 4-0 in the second half. One goal was scored. Another 4-2-1. Brilliant. Queen Elizabeth's birthday's 4-2-1. And see, this Amani Anani character is probably a demon. I'm going to report him. I'm going to report him. There you go. This might help. Boom. Bye, mate. See you later, Blat, Amani Anani. So again, Amani Anani is just scared about what I talk about. It hurts him because his spirit's weak. So it hurts him, so he tries to mock what I'm talking about. How can you mock what I'm talking about at this point? How? You're just in denial at this point if you're mocking what I'm trying to say. That's why I can just sit here and just... I don't want to laugh at you, but why are you here if I just talk shit? I don't know how many times I've had to say this. Club Brugge versus Atletico goals scored in the 36th and 62nd minute. Yeah, Club Brugge on 9 points. Why? How's a team from Belgium League? Remember, Belgium's called the Red Devils, the national team. That's why they did so well for so long in regards to the world rankings. They were number one. Satan is running this realm. Why are Club Brugge top of the group? 3 wins out of 3. How? If it was ability, team from Belgium, which is one of the worst leagues in Europe, nobody will question it. It's almost like having Rangers top of the group. At least with Rangers, it's been realistic. They played 3, lost 3, haven't scored and conceded 9. That's how it should be in reality. They shouldn't pick up 1 point in that group, Rangers. But that's not the reality of the situation, is it? The reason that they have played 3, lost 3, and conceded 9 is all connected to the code. That's why they lost 2-0. Again, Liverpool should be putting 10 past Rangers if it was real, but it's not. And how can you still watch these Premier League games and have Roy Keane say the same thing every time Man United get beat? How the players should be ashamed of themselves. He just says the same thing. You're an embarrassment to the club. At this point, are you still going to play along with this? But it's the same thing. People just live in the same repetitive, shite lives, week after week. Are you not bored of it now? Are you not bored of going to a job that you don't like, that pays you just enough money to pay your bills, to watch your football games, to then repeat it all again and get pissed maybe once a week? Are you not bored of that? You not want more than that? No wonder this world does need a massive reset. And I'm actually ready for it and excited for it. Being back home has been absolutely incredible, being around loved ones, having a laugh and all of that. But literally, when I've gone out, there's people, everyone I'm seeing on these nights out is the same people doing the same shit they were doing 20 years ago. The same shit with the same stories, hanging around with the same people, with the same views. And when I come along, oh, it's the cocky one. It's Mr. Know-It-All. No, I ain't the cocky one or the Mr. Know-It-All. It's just you haven't grown. Having a go at me because I've grown and I've taken chances. And I question my reality. You're a bit crazy, aren't you now, Adam? Yeah, I am. I'm so nuts. Why am I crazy? Because I'm not a boring twat? Does that make me crazy? So again, I think that's part of Satan's realm. He wants to keep you comfortable within his realm, within his little matrix that he's created. Not God, because this realm that we're living in is just one element of the universe. It's not the be-all, end-all. That's why I said don't be in love with the world. It's just one little element of it. So that's how I see a lot of things right now. The people who are dismissing this work, it's because they haven't changed their outlook on life for 20, 30 years. And that is the reality. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me. Am I a flat earth believer? Do you know what? I don't care. I've said this before, that I don't believe that it's a globe because it's been promoted in the education system. And the Rockefellers basically took over that in 1903. They control the education system. If you're going to say that, oh, it's different with private schools, no, it's not. It's not. So, no. Do I believe it's completely flat? If I had to choose between one or the other, I'd 100% say it's flat. Do I believe it's somewhere in the middle, like nearly everything in this realm and the world? Yeah. Is it like The Simpsons, where it's flat and there's a dome above us? Probably. But yeah, I believe technically it's flat. Am I going to waste my energy doing videos about it, which don't really back up anything in regards to the numbers? and Fibonacci and things like that? No, because at the end of the day, you're going to have X, Y, and Z say it's a globe, and then the rest say it's flat, and you're going to argue till you're blue in the face, and it don't really mean that much. I'm not going to give my energy. Do I believe in flat Earth? Do you believe in Jesus? That's the question you should be asking yourself, not whether this realm's flat or not. If it turns out to be flat, yes, it shows we're being lied to, but again, Satan's realm is allowed to lie to us. If you find out today that it is 100% flat, you find that out and it's 100%, it's been proven, we all know it's flat. How's it going to affect you? What impact is that going to have on your life other than boost your ego? So, yeah, I don't think it's a globe. Not a chance. Illusion is omniscient. He knows it all. No, I don't. No, I don't. That's why often I say I think. I don't. The better you get at this, you realize there's so many possible answers to everything. My main thing is this. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Creator. I believe we're living in end times. I believe everything in this reality is coded. I don't know that. So if you're going to put words in my mouth that illusion knows it all, maybe you're impressed by my knowledge, but I don't know it all. I wouldn't want to know it all. I don't claim to know it all. If I knew it all, I would predict every outcome of every sports game every single day. I'd be mega rich. I'd be making everyone else rich, which is what most people care about in this realm, unfortunately. Tell me I'm wrong with that. Money is the biggest control tool in the world, followed by religion. And again, people don't distinguish the difference between religion and faith. How can he say all this about Jesus and then shit on religion? Because you're not listening to what I'm saying. I don't think I know it all. So that's bullshit. Again, I don't think I'm great at everything that people say. No, I don't. But I know what I'm good at. I know I'm good at a lot of things, but I ain't good at everything. Fake moon landing, it's 2-hour research. Yeah, the moon landing. People believe in that. Are we ever going to truly prove that man went to the moon or not? Are we going to waste our energy arguing about it? I can give you all the numbers that suggest it was made up. Neil Alden Armstrong, first man on the moon, his name gets you 201. Went to the moon on the 201st day of 69. The Jesuit order equals 201 and 69. All right. There's so many other Neil Armstrong, Neil A, Alien in Reverse, Buzz Aldrin, like Buzz Lightyear. There was 3 of them, like Freemasons. They came back depressed before they went out. They was all excited about going to the moon. When they came back, they were all sad and depressed and had no energy. Imagine you was an astronaut. You've just achieved this incredible feat. You've fulfilled your dream. You come back to Earth. You can tell everyone the story of it. You're going to be an icon. And you're depressed about it because they never went. They never, ever went. But I can't prove that. And somebody will show me an image. Look, it proves that they went. And then somebody will show me an image. Look, it proves that they didn't go. All I know is that Neil Alden Armstrong died 25/8, 258, number of the beast. All right, I've decoded the whole thing with Apollo 11 and Gemini 8 and how that gets you your 88 and how big that number is. And it's funny how he died. Somebody was talking about the world ending in 2012 and Neil Armstrong died in 2012. And again, we can question whether he died or not. The guy who had 3 children, we can question that. But at the end of the day, you're still going to have X, Y, and Z believe they went to the moon and X, Y, and Z believe they didn't. And if they did, how's it going to impact your life? And if it didn't, how's it going to impact your life? I do what I do because in my opinion and how I feel from within, it brings me closer to Jesus. That's why I do what I do now. People may say you're just doing it for money, which is the funniest thing you'll ever hear, that I'm doing it just for money. If I was just going to do anything just for money, I wouldn't have given up everything I had prior to this. If it was all about money, where I was making more money. Would I give up a $350,000 house? Give it up for nothing. If it was just about money, and would I Mercedes and all of that, if I was just doing it for money? I do it to get close to Jesus. Other people do it just for money, just for betting. Others do it just because they're curious. Others do it because they enjoy it. Others do it, yeah, maybe they do have a website, maybe they do have a Patreon. Others do it because they want to prove people wrong. Many reasons why we do this in regards to the code, and there's many reasons why we do what we do. I have my story. I mean, you have to agree with it or do this, replicate it. Truth is the most important commodity in this realm. That's why I care so much. Yep. But what's truth? What is truth? What is true? What is real? You've got to be careful with certain words. I reveal patterns, right? I reveal patterns daily. You just heard my Aaron Judge code. All of that I've done by myself. I've revealed it. I've presented it. You can tell me it means nothing. But the numbers I'm presenting are connected. They're connected. But when it comes, they're unbelievably connected. Like, you can't deny the connections. However, you can deny if it's connected to end times. But you can't deny things like him getting his 62nd home run in a game where they stayed on 62 losses, and he breaks Babe Ruth's record, who was born on a date that can be written 6-2. You can't argue the fact that Aaron Judge wears number 99 and that 9 times 11 is 99, which connects to New York, and he plays for a New York franchise, and then the Yankees stayed on 99 wins. You can't argue that shit that I do. But you can argue that it's connected to end times, can't you? If you want, you can argue, well, I don't mean it's rigged. All right, you can say it's not rigged, but I've just given you those numbers and they're undeniable. Are they undeniable? Yes. And then you do whatever you want with my finds. That's how I see it. I ain't trying to reveal truth. I do my best to reveal what I believe is deception, lies, like the 9-year-old getting shot dead by the 34-year-old. And 34 is the 9th Fibonacci number, and all the other stuff I do, I'll reveal that. Can I prove to you all that that didn't happen? No. No. I'm not claiming I can do that. I'll just give you information. You do whatever you want with it. I will give you the ingredients. Cook whatever you want. You don't have to cook what I'm cooking with those ingredients. Cook whatever you want. Simple. Simple. Right. 87 days left in the year today. Yep, number of the beast is 87. Look out for more beast rituals. Jesus was very good at math. Well, again, there's a Bible which is about letters and numbers. The whole universe is coded. So I'm pretty sure Jesus is pretty good with numbers, but Satan's really good with numbers as well. He's infiltrated. He's infiltrated the numbers. We live under a dome, very possible. Flat, but with a dome. And why I say that is because half of you argue over whether the world's flat or whether it's a globe. So you'll be arguing over two things and neither of them will be correct. That's how I feel in my spirit. This is the type of stuff Satan will do. You'll be arguing over two options and both options are not actually legit. So you're arguing over two things where both of them are wrong. So is it probably flat with a slight curve, dome-esque? That would make more sense to me. My spirit says that. None of you in the chat will know. I don't give a shit if your grandfather's an expert when it comes to the earth. Don't mean anything, does it? NASA have experts. NASA's a joke. It's an absolute farcical organization which has you believe in anything other than an actual creator. NASA will have you believe that everything was a big bang and random. That's what NASA is, and it steals your money. Yet people walk around in NASA hoodies. Throw a T in NASA and you get an anagram of Satan. That's why they say T minus. The reason that they count down is because Satan does everything in reverse. That's why you've got the transgender agenda. They count down 10, 9. Why is it not 1, 2? Why don't they count up? Because they do everything in reverse. Look into backmasking. Play a song in reverse by these top artists, and it basically all of them will say that I worship Satan. It's just a coincidence that as well, isn't it? It's everything in reverse. I was wondering if there was a code behind Judge 62. I've presented it. It's on my website. It's better to read it than what you've heard. Go on the website, read my code. Save it, print it off, show it to people. If you're a Yankees fan, show it to your Yankees fans. They'll know the Sinks. They know who Babe Ruth is. They know Aaron Judge. They'll be aware of who the Queen was. Have them read it and see what they say. Problem is, most of them won't get past the first line without the brain getting fried. That's, again, a reality to it. Hey, Yasmin, much love to you too. Third option, Earth is an infinite plane. People say it's AI Earth. That's a matrix. It's made up of basically just pure numbers. We're in a matrix. Then does it really matter if it's flat or circular? If it's a matrix, it doesn't, does it? There's all sorts of possibilities with this. But for me, there's certain things I just won't go into. It doesn't serve any purpose. I'd rather call stuff and then watch it play out than discuss things that happened years ago that we'll never know. Or discuss things like, is the Earth flat? I'd rather tell you 2 years ago the Queen would die right before they woke up at 96 and then back it up with all my code. I'd rather do that. That's the way I operate. Not just guessing or letting my ego determine what I think's right and wrong. Evidence? What do you mean by evidence? I've told you for about a year and a half, I hate the word evidence. Innocent people are being put on death row for evidence, and then we found out that they were actually innocent. What's evidence? I'm not here to provide evidence. I'm here to make you think and question your reality, not to prove you wrong or tell you how good I am, although people think that's why I do what I do. I'm here to have you question your reality, find your own answers. When I was a teacher, I still am technically online. When I was a teacher in a classroom, I would have the kids do opinion-based essays almost every week. Why? Because I wanted their opinion. I could have just easily given them comprehension checks where everything had the same answer. Made it easy for me to grade, all of that stuff. I've got a girl called Paula now. Great girl. She wants me to look over an essay for her. She's in 11th grade. Do I have to do that for her? No. Do I care about her? Yes. So will I help her? Yes. So even when I was a teacher, I wasn't stood at the front preaching about how amazing I am at English. Or when I coach, I don't rave on about how good I am at playing football. I let them come to their own conclusions. It's called guided discovery. That's why it sometimes annoys me when people ask me these questions like I know everything. Tell me who's going to win this. Tell me when she's going to die. Tell me the date of it. I don't know. I can look into it and somewhat make a educated guess. And the people, if I am ever wrong, which is normal because I'm a normal person, it's like, they love it. They thrive when I'm wrong, which is, again, great for me. Because if I was always wrong, you won't be getting excited. And when I'm right, turn away and get all angry about it. That's the situation I'm in right now. But I ain't trying to prove people right or wrong. I don't know. So I hope you're learning that from me now. All the stuff I present to you, I don't know for a fact if it's legit. But the numbers are undeniable. But the actual reason behind the numbers, I don't know. Why and who's behind them. But I prove every day that they're incredibly sacred. What more do you want from me? Come on, baby. Adam, the modern day Nostradamus. I'll take that as a compliment. But again, Nostradamus, does that guy even exist? Did he exist? Do we really know if a guy who was born in the 1500s existed? And he was French, wasn't he? I don't know. But according to what they say about this guy, he was an astrologer, wasn't he? He was a genius. I don't know. Was he somewhat of a psychic? I don't know if he even existed, Nostradamus. Could I look into his numbers? Yeah. Because he made a lot of crazy predictions, did Nostradamus? I think he even mentioned predicting the Queen's death. So maybe I am the modern day Nostradamus, because I did call that. And I have a book to back it up by keeping my notes. And I have multiple codes backing it up. But I don't know if I'm the modern day Nostradamus. I'm just the illusion, baby. That's going to play football tonight, probably bang 11 goals, and then maybe get some Chinese chips and curry sauce. I'm meeting a friend called Kellyanne at 6. Oh my word, it's 4:45. So I'm meeting her in an hour and 15. I'm not going to drink. Probably have maybe a water if I'm playing footy at 7. Guys, I ain't claiming to be above anybody. I ain't claiming to be a genius, the modern day Nostradamus. If somebody pushes me, I'll put them in the place and I'll tell them my abilities if I have to. I'll react like that. But I've called so much and still don't have 6,000 subs, baby. So guys, hit the like button. Tell your friends about me. Oh my God, sub to the website as well. Oh my God, like, I deserve it. I work so hard. Believing me. Who was a Mason? Sitchin? If he was a Mason, what's your point? What do you think about Eriksen dying? Nah. Not like in the next couple of years or anything. I just don't believe he had a cardiac arrest. I've done 5 videos about Eriksen. Again, I don't know. Do I know if Christian Eriksen had a cardiac arrest? Do I know for a fact? Can I prove it? Do I have the medical studies in front of me right now that I can reveal to the public? No. Can I show you that it was quite blatantly bullshit that he didn't have one? And I have numbers to back it up? Yes. Can I say he was going to sign for Man United? Almost right after he had a cardiac arrest. Who said that? Me. Did it happen? Yes. Can I show you that? Yes. Can I prove that he didn't have a cardiac arrest? No. But you want evidence, don't you, from me? And that's the problem. And it's not my problem. It's yours. Ooh, I don't need to provide evidence. I don't need to do anything on this channel. I talk. I don't need to do anything. You need to do this. You need to tell me who's going to score the opening goal. No, I don't. You need to shut your mouth, baby. Ooh. I think it's time for me to go. 1 hour 39. That's the 34th prime. 34, the 9th Fibonacci. So many nines. So many nines. I don't care about Loretta Lynn's death, so I don't have a code. I'm not doing any more work on my website today. I've done about 10 posts. What I would say there is if you can code Tobin swing an end, baby. Code it for yourself. Tell me what you find. Hey, bro. Hey, sis. Sis, how you doing? My sis is in the chat, who I'm going to her house tomorrow. Arguably the best cook I know, chef. She's cooking me steak. She's amazing. One of the nicest people in the world that I've come across. And I'm going to see her tomorrow. Sis, if you're still there, is there anything you want me to bring? Other than my good looks and charm? Let me know and I'll bring it. Wow, my sister's tuning in. Really nice woman. She's been on the live stream before. And she's very funny. I think she's left now. She's busy, so she probably just tuned in for a minute. Maybe she's thought that I've ignored a comment. Dale Peters in the chat, baby. How can you say it's not round? How can you say God isn't capable of sneaking around planets into reality? I don't. If you're talking to me, I never responded to those questions. I do not want to be another Santos Bonacci, please. Again, that's another thing. There's too much comparisons with people. You want to be this, you want to be that. No, I'm Adam. He's got his own unique journey, sharing his truth. I don't want to be Santos. And again, people have their own view on him. If he's controlled, if he's organic, whatever. Discern what he says. He says a lot of good things. Other times I can call him out like that. But I'll take away from him the things that I believe are insightful, the things that I actually can connect with. A lot of stuff Santos says, I don't agree with. A lot of stuff he says, I agree with. You might have that with me. Yeah, somebody was talking about Freddie Mercury the other day, that he was just basically, it wasn't his voice. So now you've got all the computer generated stuff. Most of these people singing now, it's not their voice. Freddie Mercury, that wasn't his voice. And they broke that they broke down Bohemian Rhapsody. And that was a failure for a long time before it actually got re-released and went to #1, whatever it did. And if you actually break down that song, Bohemian Rhapsody, it's god awful. Most of Queen's music's terrible. If you break down the lyrics, and it's awful. And I loved Queen, but the more I sit down and listen to the songs now, dreadful. Dreadful. And it wasn't even his voice. No, Adam, because you couldn't do that back then. You couldn't do computer generated voices back then. Ah, couldn't you? Could you not? All right. Like they didn't have Photoshop in 1969. No, they didn't, Adam. No, it didn't come out till like the 80s. Ah, oh, my bad. Still got it wrong then. My bad. Come on. Wow. I tried to bet Aaron Judge Homer yesterday, but Bettis didn't have it. It often does that. The amount of time people try to put a bet through, it doesn't work, and then boom, it hits. Especially in play. The amount of times when I used to gamble, I'd go in play on a team. Like for example, I don't know. Let's talk the NBA. Say I liked Memphis Grizzlies to win. They went down 11 points. I was like, okay, everything in this game's telling me Memphis. I'm going to back them. It froze. It'd freeze, and then Memphis would go on like a 9-point run, and then it'd open again. But now they're the big favourites back again because it's only 2 points down, not 11. The amount of times it did that to me was like, all right, I know what you're doing here. Now I know Memphis have won, so I'm going to hammer Memphis. Yes, I can't get them when they were 11 down, but I'm going to hammer them because you ain't beating me, algorithm. And that's what they would do so often. They freeze it as you're about to bet. So often that would happen. And I'm sure it's happened to you guys if you bet. I don't recommend gambling. I don't care what you say about what I do. If you say I promote it because I code it, say whatever you want. You don't know shit. I don't recommend gambling. I think even if you win, you lose. And that's a famous line. I think even in gambling, when you win, you lose. It takes your energy. If you're going to sit here and tell me it doesn't, I just place a bet and I don't even pay attention. I don't care about it. You're lying to yourself. Simply lying to yourself. And much love to the people in the Twitter group. And it's your life and do whatever you want. I've got nothing but respect in general for you. but you're spending 15, 18 hours a day online in a Twitter group posting codes for sports games, and most of you not winning any money, at least significant. So maybe you have to have a little reflection on that. But again, it's your life. If it brings you joy, go for it. I kind of had that for about 6 to 9 months, where my whole life was just coding and interacting with people online and betting in play. I don't think that's much of a life, especially during the end times, baby. You know what I'm saying? But again, we all have free will to choose that. But it's very tough for me, innit, to say I don't agree with betting and then I code sports. But that's the world that we live in. The world that we live in is pretty hypocritical. It's designed that way. It really is. But I'm pretty sure people on my website, they hardly bet anyway anymore. They're more intrigued in the stuff that I talk about. And when I know people are pretty soulless is when they just say, anyone can do this after the game. So the stuff I've just done with Aaron Judge, Babe Ruth, Queen Elizabeth, Book of Revelation, Pope Francis, they try and tell me that anyone can do that post game. You can't. Your friend can't. Your parents can't. Your boss can't. Pretty much everyone you know in your life can't. So don't flip it and say it's easy to code after the game. Easier? Yes. Comparative version of the word easy? Yes, it's easier. Is it easy to do a code post game or post death, like the one I did about Coolio? Is that easy? I don't see you doing it. Giving me all that shite. You get all upset because you didn't win money from the code. That's people's issues with it. The genuine people on my website are there because they love the knowledge. That's why they're there, for the knowledge and the community, not just to determine who's going to win a rigged MLB game, where people can just tell you at the end, well, they only won because they were the better team in the standings. Okay, why did Texas Rangers just get beat? Why did they just beat the Yankees then? And they had about 30 less wins. Uh, Yankees just, I don't think the coach inspired them that night. All right, but the following day they win 12-0. He just managed to become an inspirational coach in like the span of 12 hours. Yeah, he probably like lit a fire in them with a speech or something. Yeah, mate, that's probably exactly what happened. Think you're right. Sorry, my bad. Ugh. Sis, my signal isn't that great, but I'll talk to you after you're live. Oh, what a legend you are. What a legend you are, Don. A real legend. But I will let you all know that my sister was born on Adolf Hitler's birthday, but she's still an amazing woman. I'm not even going to say woman, I'm going to say spirit. And I can't wait for this steak. Oh, steak, mashed potatoes, I think, maybe roasted potatoes. Oh, she's wow. All right, I think it's time for me. Yes, knowledge and community. I love that, Bernie Mac. The connections you make are off the charts, Adam. Thank you so much. Hopefully you can understand them and then share them yourself or make them better. I love when people add to my codes. I really do. I'm not the guy who's like, this didn't need anything, like a chef. You didn't need to add salt on it. Maybe it needs a sprinkle of salt. Ooh. Maybe it needs a bit of pepper on my code. Add to my codes. I ain't going to act like my codes are perfect because they're not. They're not. I love when people chip in. Oh, you missed that one. Oh, I did, mate. Cheers. Not, who are you to judge the illusion, the almighty illusion, baby? You know what I'm saying? Call me out if it's in a positive way, if it's actually constructive feedback, because you can't say the word criticism anymore. It's too negative in its connotation. Go for it. But if you're going to completely dismiss what I do, then you are brain dead and you are soulless and you are possessed. If you 100% dismiss everything I do, simple. But you can definitely question it and you don't have to like it. But if you completely dismiss it, you have issues with what I've done. You're in denial. I'm not wrong, am I, with that comment? Steak and chips and a beer. Go on, happy face, man. No wonder you're so happy when you're eating things like steak, chips, and swelling it down with a nice cold beer, baby. Happy face man's a great guy. He is a great guy. Even our lives are predetermined by the numbers, predestined. Yes and no. Yes and no. I think you have free will, but I do believe you have numbers that are highly connected to you. I've told you, I almost believe that you have an ultimate destination, but how you get there is on you, is your free will. Like if there's a choice left, right, or forward, you get to make that choice. But the choices that you're given, you don't have a choice with. You get what I'm saying? But you have a choice with what choice that you select. That's how I see it all. That's how I see it. So like I had a choice ages ago. Do I stay in England? Before I went to LA, do I stay in England? Sign the 2-year contract with Geisley, semi-professional, high level. Stay with my beautiful girlfriend Heather at the time. Or do I go to LA, give all that up, take a chance, do something I actually wanted to do since I was a kid, live in Los Angeles, leave all my family and friends? I had a choice there. And if I would have stayed in England, obviously but I think my ultimate destination has already been predestined. How I get there is on me. That's how I see it. Can I prove that? No. Do I have to? No. No, I don't. Tom Brady, the goat of football, born 962 days before Guidestone's 962 country code of Jordan. Brilliant. We know Brady is so connected with Jordan. I know you're referring to the location Jordan, not the player, but again, Michael Jordan is connected heavily to the book of Revelation. That's why he was the GOAT, which is the Baphomet. You don't want to know your edge of death? No, neither do I. But just know you never truly die. You never truly die, so don't worry too much about your death date. I ain't gonna get in this to decode people's deaths and go work in Blackpool, Adam, and be a gypsy and read people's palms. I ain't doing that. I don't like people saying that I'm this psychic and mystic. We all have an element of that. When you predict anything, you predict the weather, you predict whatever it is, a scoreline in football, you're predicting the future. If you get it right, it doesn't necessarily make you like a prophet or anything, does it? I do it a lot, but I don't want to be known as the prophet, the mystic. I just connect patterns that help me basically predict to some extent where the world's going. All right, I better go. I know I've got stuff to do. Sixth sense, yeah. Right, Milan won't draw tonight because they'll go to 7 points from 4 points, like how Forest didn't draw on Monday night. Yeah, the whole thing with Leicester, you saw me in my code, the live, the stuff I find, it's just irritating at times with sports. It's like instantly I was telling you all Leicester, and then I said, but I don't like both teams becoming 116 116 days before Brendan Rodgers' birthday. What happens? They both become 116 116 days before his birthday. But I found that. I also see if they win the next game, they're 216 in the league. 6 times 6 times 6. They won the Premier League in 2016. But they could draw and be 126, which is Brendan Rodgers' birthday. That's why it's irritating at times coding these sports. Because sometimes you got it right there in front of you in the first minute and you question it. You think it's too obvious. And still to this day, maybe my biggest weakness sometimes in coding sports is I have the riddle instantly and I think it's too easy. And then I go deeper and deeper and deeper when I didn't have to. The 116 was perfect and it happened. I used to do it occasionally as a kid in my exams. If I answered the question instantly, I'd second guess it because it was too easy. And the amount of times when I was younger where I would do that and change my original answer because it felt like it was too easy and I was wrong when I was originally right. It still happens to me now. I had the Mets yesterday. I had the Mets that they were going to win that first game, get the 99th win. 9 times 11's 99. Obviously, Mets are in New York. I had a million things and I didn't put it up. I'm like, why not? Because I saw one thing for the Nationals. I was like, maybe they might just keep the Mets 98 and give them the 60-second loss on the day Judge is probably going to get the 60-second home run. 98's the date the Queen died. She was coronated on 6/2. I was like, that 98/62 is enough to not want me to post. But I had so much on the Mets. That's where I should have done the Mets, and then I had a little thing at the bottom, warning, there is a chance if the Mets lose, they will be 98/62, and then it's on people to decide, "Oh, okay, it's great, but that might put me off." No, the code's so good, I don't care about the 98/62. I should have done that, but I didn't, but it is what it is, and we've all done that. That's why you've sometimes gotta go with your gut instinct. It's powerful, isn't it? It's powerful. Um, yeah, I like that 6079, 9/11 until 11/9 is 59 days. If you go on my website, see my Simpsons video, you'll see how big the number 59 is with The Simpsons. And you'll see how time travel is potentially legit and would explain so much if people can time travel. And you may laugh it off, but how many things like Doctor Who, so many books with time travel, Donald Trump's connected to time travel, Back to the Future, all this type of stuff. If people can do that and they are time travel machines or whatever it is that can basically take you forward, and then these people can come back. You don't need a lot of people. You may know where the world's going. It is very potentially a real thing. And if you go on my website and read my Simpsons code for season 15, episode 4, you're going to have your mind blown. Blown. I may do a video about it, I may not. Just so you know, on the website, I do so many things that I don't put here. I don't have enough time to make 5, 7, 9, 12 videos a day for everything I post. Donald Trump equals 888, time travel equals 888, yep. In 1988, he was interviewed by Oprah about becoming the president. Trump equals 88. Mar-a-Lago got basically broken into on August the 8th, 88. It's a big number. Told you with the moon landing. You got the Apollo 11, haven't you? And then you also had the 8. What was it? Gemini 8. 11 times 8 is 88. 8 times 8 is 64. Coronavirus declared a global pandemic on 3/11, the 64th prime. What's your website called? It's called theillusion.co. And I'm very proud of it. I'm very grateful to Gabriel. Again, this is all biblical, how a guy called Gabriel set up the website with me, like the archangel. That's the link. When you go on the website, literally, I have 201 people right now, which is hilarious. The 201. See, Liverpool won, they're now 201 in the Champions League, 2 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss. I always talk about 201. My best mate Nathan sent me a 201 audio yesterday, and he went, "Why did you laugh so much about 201?" I went out for a really long walk with him, 3 hours in the Pennines. I explained it. He went, "Oh, now I can see why you found it funny." So yeah, I have 201 active members. Should it be more? He said I should have 600, 700 for what I do. I have what I'm supposed to have, I guess. I don't code spots every day. I'm not going to do it every day. I do 'em most days. People can back me up there. But I give you a variety of content. I am so proud of the variety of content that I provide. Pretty much be something 2, 3, 4 times a week where everyone is going to enjoy it, and it might not be the same things. Try and do a wide range of content, like my YouTube channel. I don't just talk about sports, do I? I connect everything together. All right, 10-4 leaves 88 days. Good call. Good call. 88. 8's the loop number, the cycle. 8 hours work, 8 hours sleep. I've told you, it's an endless loop, the number 8, and that's why it just keeps going as a number. It just does that. like a dog chasing its tail. Maybe that's us in this matrix, or most of us. You're trying to chase your tail that you're never going to catch. And you need to realize that. And then you won't give all your energy to chasing a tail that you can't catch. You put your energy elsewhere. And no, that's a really good way of putting it. Most people in this world are basically dogs chasing their own tail that they're never gonna catch. Wow, thank you. I'll end on that. 6079, guys, please subscribe to his YouTube channel. He has 113 subscribers. He deserves more, and once he starts doing videos, he'll be in the thousands. Pretty much everyone on my website will support him because I'll promote him heavily. So yeah, his work is exceptional. Arnold Schwarzenegger, aka Amani Anani. Take care. I'll never forget the $10 you sent me, and then told everybody, if you give him $10, it's a big waste of time. Yet you then gave me $10. That is the world we're living in. A lot of characters. Okay, I'm off. I'm off. Oh, I've got some Spanish here. Hey, Mr. Illusion, I need your membership because you can't access it. Drop me an email, mate, and I'll help you access it. You've got to go to the members area. A few people have this issue. You just literally have to log in, go to members area. You'll have access to all my content. All right, bye, Tobin. Swinging out, baby. Right, I'm off. Off to watch the games, Adam. No, I just told you what I'm doing. I'm meeting a girl called Kellyanne, and then I'm playing football. And I'll probably get some Chinese chips. I don't watch any games. The last one I watched, actually, because hurt my soul, was because I was with my dad in Blackpool, and he barely watched it, was Germany-England. I don't watch football. I don't watch any sports. I'd rather go do something and be productive than sit on my ass watching guys who are possessed run around the field. I've told you all of this, all right? All right, boom. I'm off. I'm off, baby. 49 likes, perfect. Revelations 49. So is Antichrist. Let's leave it on the 49, eh? When Prince Philip died, everybody. Woo-woo. Take care. Much love. Thanks for all your support. Oh, wow. Here's 10 beans, Adam. Love you and have a good dinner. Wow, where did that come from? I was literally about to end stream and I get a cheeky tenner, $10 from Anonymous. That was beautiful, eh? Thank you so much for that. And I got up to 50 likes and 53 were in the live. And obviously, Simpsons aired for the first time on Pope Francis's 53rd birthday. Wow. Oh, that was incredible. That came out of nowhere. I literally had my finger on the end stream and boom, Anonymous throws $10 at me. And that's what I love. Anonymous, mysterious. I don't claim to know it all. I don't want to know it all. I don't need to know this person's name. But that was beautiful. Thank you, baby. Take care. Adios. I'll do a live tomorrow. Actually, if I have time, I'll let you know how the football went. Look at that 50 in the live, 50 likes, like 55, the 10th Fibonacci and triangular number, and I get a cheeky $10 sent from California, it seems, where I lived for 7 years. Had an amazing time there. The Simpsons predictions was what sparked my awakening 5 years ago. Be grateful to the Simpsons then, baby. I loved the Simpsons growing up. Loved it. Loved the Simpsons growing up. And honestly, if I sat down now and actually watched a Simpsons episode, there's something about it that it catches my attention. But I don't watch TV, do I? Have 11, 11, and 77 on the phone. Wow. 11 times 7, 77. That's why 77 days is 11 weeks. Woo! 77 plus 11 is 88. Woo, woo, woo! Guys, look into people who was born on 8-8. It's pretty interesting. I'll leave you with that, okay? Cheers for everything. Off I go. And I'll speak to you all tomorrow. And let me leave you with these two beautiful, sacred, powerful words. God wins. Boom.